cup cover under... You hear me now? How about...
Beep boop. Yay. Good morning.
She says, in the cup cover underneath silverware drawer. I wouldn't have thought to look there.
What's up, weenies? We're playing PP Mario.
We're going to play Paper Mario, picking it from last week. We're not here Thursday because Thursday we were all collectively losing our minds. We probably will never do a Friday market again because it makes our Thursdays just hectic.
Well, we could do a Friday market again. We'd be fine.
If we had stock already built up.
We do a Friday market a week after coming back from an international trip.
And another market.
Otherwise, I wouldn't mind a Friday one again. But I feel like, yeah, we need to definitely
have stock ready.
Which now we do. Now I have like 12 paintings ready.
I don't. I have not made anything. Honestly, the experience of super grinding that thing last week and then being like, I hate this right now. And I'm like, I don't like that. Although then I was also heading into my more emotional times. So I was also like just angry in general. But yeah, the weekend was a rough time for me emotionally and mentally.
And I have Dino Nuggets.
We do have Dino Nuggets. They make things better. So yeah, we're getting ready to play Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. We're trying to get started a little early today.
Early being 8:30 p.m.
Hey, last time we started at like 9, so I think we're doing great. So Mally's gonna go grab some scones to go with our tea because we are British now. And we used our tea strainers that we bought at the market. You know, kudos to those people. I remember what was their business called?
We'll tag them on your Instagram. Instagram story. We'll tag them.
Love their tea strainers. They were great.
And we're also going to talk about later, once I come back to the scones, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct.
Oh yeah, lots of fun stuff happening in that.
It was actually a pretty good one, so I would recommend peek around.
Well, and it wasn't one that was like, oh, there's a singular thing there. I'm like, no, there were a couple of things that actually look pretty good in there. There was a couple of new announcements. I'm like, okay, I'll keep an eye on that. And then there was like two for me and Mally at the end. They're like, let's go.
Yeah, we were literally sitting there.
Instant pre-orders for us.
When will game be good? This is the same 4 games. There was a Hello Kitty little game.
Well, let's not get it. We won't get into it because we will talk about it when we get there.
Evie's gonna go ahead and start the game.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Gave up.
Okay. Sorry,
can we hear?
Brother, I think
can you hear it now?
So everything is unplugged. No, it's good now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get some scones. You do what you're doing.
Sorry, I'm remembering the controls now. I just hit that guy with a hammer by accident. Sorry, dude. I'm trying to remember what I was doing. I was looking for... Oh, she's stuck underneath the thing. Okay, there you go, girl. I think we're looking for... If I remember correctly, we're looking for Palber Meadows. So we're going to the, Also, speaking of the person we bought, like, tea strainers from, we also bought, like, a, like, ornament that looks like the crystal stars. I wonder... Okay, we already know all this stuff. I was just curious if there was anything... Drop items, drop badges, defense, spikes, types of audience members, powering up partners, vacuum. I don't think this is anything I don't already know. I don't think I need action commands. I'm just curious who this is. I'm guessing this is just... I'm guessing this is just a tutorial guy. Anyway, let's head on out. We're looking forward to talking about the direct though, because I saw that happening because we've been teaching summer camp this week. So that was one of those things where I'm like, I saw that this morning and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to watch this because, you know, it's been a while since we've had direct. So it's nice to see. It was like, it's nice to go and see, like, you never, cause, okay. We're lovely. I think she's actually a character who returns in, like, the next Paper Mario. pass, star pieces, shine spray. I'm good. Cool. And she's the person that we train in badges to. It's so weird they have little noises along with all the things now. Oh, look, she has a little thing. She's looking in her bag. This is the person you changed the star. This is who you train the star pieces to for the awesome badges.
Yoink. Sorry.
Okay, we got Chilla. Thank you. Pray lucky to remember enemies will sometimes miss while trying to attack the app.
Well, you turned off the fan. Why would you do that?
I probably was doing it unconsciously.
You always turn off the fan whenever you enter. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you get to turn off the fans. Some of us still get hot.
Has a chance of slowly restoring HP during each turn in battles. Chance of slowly returning your furniture. Okay, so here's the thing. I wonder. I'm pretty sure these items actually did always do this. Not like a chance, like it always did it. So that's I hate when they nerf things like that. Item hog, make thing. Okay, heart finder.
And to show you my jelly cat.
Why would you need an HP visible? You just tattle in order to do that.
Well, because you don't want to tattle.
You your partner to act even after using swap partner. We don't want that eventually.
We'll need that one.
Increase, yeah, that. Heart plus. These are all great ones to have later on, but we obviously don't have enough for those. I was just seeing if there's anything that was interesting we want right now.
Really far to the side.
Yeah, it is. Can you? I might have jolted it when I was turning everything on.
I was sitting in that chair earlier.
Okay, you tilted it up a little bit. There you go. That's nice. During battles, enemies will sometimes miss while trying to attack Mario. We could grab that one, or we could keep building up star points. What do you think? Should we keep looking for star pieces, or
Probably
you want
star pieces? I want to get that 8 one, which is pretty good.
Okay.
Unless there's one that's like a star finder.
Also, I love the fact that look at the sprites actually changed now. Look, the little thing changed.
A little dejected person. Where is the slowpoke I normally sit on?
I don't know. Where did he go? Isn't he normally on top of the big one?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll still like this.
You want your tea?
No. So, talking about getting into the Nintendo Switch Direct.
Yeah, start at the beginning.
Let's freaking go. So, well, first we started and we were like, okay.
Because the first one we had was actually Mario related.
A lot of, yeah, well, I forgot about them. That one's actually good. So the first one they had was a Mario and Luigi kind of like RPG-esque.
If you know about strategy.
So if you've ever played on the DS, 3DS, there is it's a bloop time.
Bloop time.
Shout out to Looper Glooper. These guys were so crazy in Super Mario Sunshine. Let's freaking go. You gotta smush their little fingies. So they started. It is super. So they have like me Tootsies. Come on, Tootsies. That is fair. Why did we blomp them like that? Interesting. He's gonna blomp us real hard. Yeah, as if we need to know how to... Buddy, we're gonna get real good at putting you in harm's way real quick.
Well, because at the very least, I always want to tattle before I attack the enemies.
Yeah, just fill out the logs. So, they had, like, Bowser's Inside Story. They had, Partners in Time one, where you have Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, who ride on your backs. And then Bowser's Inside Story, you go inside Bowser, you become, like, super tiny. And then they had, like, a Dream one Eevee set, and then...
Dream Team, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they just had, like, a regular one. So this one is the 5th iteration in the series. It's, Mario and Luigi's, what was it, Super Brothers or something? Brothership, there you go. I know it's had an S in it. And
see, now we know it's HP.
There we go. It's kind of like, it's like a turn-based combat thing. Similar to this. I actually like it a lot. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I love.
And
I
the
really
graphics are super cute because they're very, like they were on the 3DS. They're very 3DS-ski. You know how they have like a lot of. You're darn blooping. I want to eat your little tentacles, boy. Oh, you can't really guard her, can you?
You can't. I just missed it.
Oh, okay. Boom, boom. Eventually, you can get to 4 head bonks in a row.
Yep, you get your multi-bonk.
Yeah.
But we need Shrine Sprites in order to upgrade the partners. Yeah, see, I missed that one.
But the Mario thing, it's super cute. Like, I would definitely go. It's at the very beginning of the direct. I think it's only like 40 minutes long, so I definitely would go check it out. Aw, Lupin. Look how papery it looks. It looks so good. Like the texture on it, like it's cardboard.
Well, yeah, because now they've done.
Big fan of that.
Now that they've done Origami King, they actually are. Oh my gosh, there's something on me.
Oh my god, it's a spider. Poopy out of me.
Well, I have hot tea on my arm, so I'm trying to deal with that. You can kill it. So,
get a towel. It's dead. Now we need to clean its corpse up.
Okay, 5 seconds. I just spilled all my tea down my side, so my arm's all wet now.
Sorry. There is a spider in here.
Okay, technical difficulties. Give us 5 minutes.
Why can't we have anything nice? Hey, I'm glad I crawled on you, because if I crawled on me, I would have been peeing. I would have peed myself.
I feel like I peed on my entire
all
arm.
over my body. There'd be lots of pee-pee all over this floor.
Really? Do you see how much tea is on my arm right now?
Oh yeah, you did pee-pee on yourself.
It's all over my arm.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, we have one thing.
No, we can't. I'm in the middle of a boss fight too. I'm so focused.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a towel. I'll be right back.
Okay, I need like a paper towel.
Keep talking to the audience, guys. Keep going.
Okay, talking to. Hey, dog. So, tiny dead spider. I'm honestly surprised I was able to kill it on a mattress. Yo, spiders are gross. One of the kids in my camp today brought in a spider in a little spider jar to show my co-teacher, because my co-teacher's super into like bugs and nature, and she brought it in and she was trying to show me, and I was like, absolutely not, yo. You're trying to show me a bug? You've got the wrong lady. I am not the bug girl.
I jumped so fast on that. I'm lucky I didn't knock this entire table down.
I know. Whew. That scared me so bad.
You were scared? It was on my leg.
I was gonna say, I'm glad it was you, not me.
You're the worst.
Sorry, I have to be honest.
Well, you get rid of the corpse.
You should bring me like a piece of toilet paper or something. I will. I don't have any paper towels over here. Yeah, she had this little spider in like a little container, and she was shaking it so aggressive. I was like, buddy, that spider is dead. She was like, look at my spider. Yeah, that's so my co-teacher's thing. That's so not me. Because then they're learning about, like, insects in her camp. And then I had one of the kids I had 2 years ago. He's in her camp this time. And he's like, you don't even like slugs? I was like, no, dog. I don't like any bugs. Ugh, I hate bugs. I hate bugs. They're so gross.
Okay, well, that was the worst. Now my pillow's all wet. Great. Will you switch, like, this with that one right there?
Pillow swap.
Okay, brief set change. Unintentional set change.
I guess that's what we get for having stuffed animals in a corner.
And then we're just gonna pull. I'm just gonna pull the blanket this way a little bit so it's not all wet on one end.
Holy gee! Well, the funny thing is, Olivia does move these regularly because that's her dresser back there that I guess she still uses. I guess.
Okay, that was the worst.
Yeah, really.
I'm traumatized now.
Deeply.
I'm gonna drink my tea deeply and just like
drink your tea deeply.
Yeah.
And it's so hard on this like weave of. This is the only room upstairs that still has carpet.
That was
the weave of this carpet. It is hard to see things on because it's meant to be like that speckled, so you can't really see the dirt.
I'm starting to talk. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something on my leg. Because sometimes you think there's something on your leg and it's just like your drawstring.
No, you scared the crap out of me. And then I was sitting on the floor in our bathroom, and she walked into the bathroom door, and I almost like freaking flip out.
That's the only toilet I have access to on the floor.
Cool dog, yeah, it was spooky, scary,
no, well, I thought it was like a drawstring or something. I looked down, I'm like, no, there's an actual thing on my leg.
Ugh, that's so scary. I hate bugs.
And
I hate nature.
And I was in the middle of drinking my tea, too. That's why I was the worst. That's why I spilled it all over me, because I was like, oh my gosh!
Nature sucks.
Well, look, my Joy-Con's all the way over here. It is like, phew! I threw my Joy-Con, I threw my tea.
So sorry, yeah.
My entire arm's wet now. Hope everyone's enjoying the excitement.
I will ask, is our pal Willow in the audience? Does she appreciate a little
entertainment?
A little bit of spider fun time? Or
trying to have
just a little bit of mommy alone time tonight?
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
That's scary.
I'm gonna actually take a moment and drink my tea now.
Quietly and peacefully. I have
Melanie, speak about the direct.
And so we are watching it. The Mario thing was cool. So it's cool. It's definitely like old style, not old style Mario. but it's like mid.
Mario, when he looks expressive and not dead face.
Yeah, it's like
kill someone.
It really is like early 3D era Mario kind of vibes, where they're past the polygon stage, but before.
Mario Party.
Yeah, before like the big Mario Party thing came out. So it's like, you know, it's got the heavy lines. It's got more cell shading.
He just
almost.
looks more expressive.
He's definitely more animated, less like realist, not like the hyper realistic Marios they do now. So that one I recommend. It looks pretty good. I like that style of gameplay and I like that style of animation. And then we watched a couple of them and I was like, oh, why are these graphics so weird?
I'm trying to figure out where it came from.
No, I think it came from back in there.
That's even worse.
Yeah, I know. A lot of them I was watching, I was like, you're putting these graphics out on the Switch in 2024? Some of them were like...
What was it, the Funko Fusion
like
game?
the Funko game. We watched that and we were like,
bad.
this is like, it had visible lag in the thing, and then like it had a lot of dropped frames.
And clipping textures.
Yeah, we were like, oh my god, this is like your game, like this is your trailer for your game. Typically that's, you know, some people don't even show gameplay in their trailers. Most people don't actually. Like, especially Pokemon is notorious for never showing.
For Paldea, where they literally
they
had
didn't. Everyone was like,
they showed us pictures. Like, that's how I'm ready they were from Paldea. We're gonna have to buy that game just so we have an excuse to bash on it for a couple hours.
We don't have to buy that game. Somebody gave it to me.
No, I meant like Scarlet.
No, I'm never gonna buy that. I'll buy Violet. I already have it though. I'm not gonna buy it. So it's like we watched a couple of them. We were like,
someone gifts us Scarlet, we'll play it on stream. How
yeah,
that?
but don't gift me Scarlet. I don't want it. But we are, and some of them were like, okay, another JRPG, and mind you, we've got like at least 25 JRPG games, 100 plus hours each to complete. You know, we're JRPG fans.
Yeah, 25 is being incredibly lenient. I think I have somewhere over 80 at this point.
I think that's excessive. I don't think we even have 80 games, but I believe it. I don't even think we have 80 games. 80's a lot.
Now, on my log thing I did of our things, we're over 300.
Switch games?
Well, it's including the digital ones, too.
Okay, not I'm just doing expressly physical.
Okay, expressly physical,
yes. Yeah, it's like, we don't have more. Our shelf would not hold that much, let me tell you. As is the shelf designer. We don't have that many. But watching it was I was like, okay, another JRPG. Another post-apocalyptic. There was one that looked really cool, like Mio. Or Mio is like something in order. In orbit. That one, the art style looks really, really cool. It's kind of like Inside, if you know that game. I'm pretty sure that's the one like Jacksepticeye played.
It also kind of remind me of like Gris. Have you seen Gris?
Nope, I have not. Or like Ori and the Blind Forest, or Journey. It's something where it has a very super distinct art style that really makes the game gorgeous to look at. But then they showed off the gameplay footage, and it's a platforming game, and we were both like,
it looks like something like Ori that's gonna be a hard platform, because we tried to play Ori on stream some point last year. And I couldn't even get past the first tutorial stage.
I would love to be good at platforming. I would love to be, but I'm just not.
It's just, I can't quite match the timing on it. I am more strategic, I don't like playing a game that I can't play because my fingers are clumsy. It's like
I wish I could, but you guys saw me play Balan a long time ago. I'm okay, but I'm not good and I'm not great. I was okay.
You wanted to kill me at least for half a bit, but
yeah, I was like, I get frustrated really fast. So it's like I also don't have the patience for it.
Same.
And I'm not on the right medication to play that kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that patience in me. I don't got that dog in me. Thanks.
But it was so essentially, like like Square has a new game that looks cool, but again, it looks like a.
What game is that?
It's the one that was the Final Fantasy looking one. The one that you were like another apocalyptic sort of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of like in a post-apocalyptic world and a decaying world and a blah blah world, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I watched the video earlier that was talking about like how post-apocalyptic hits differently now because we've all been through like coronavirus and they're all kind of like isolation. It sucks. But I don't think it has the same allure as a storytelling element as it once did, essentially.
Yeah, and
Yeah. And they had the one that was like the farm.
Well, also,
so many farming simulators. So many farming simulators.
Well, here's the thing. Once you play one really good post-apocalyptic game, then I don't want to play another one. Because, you know, like, I played, Raincoat for me. Sorry, I just see, like, we're dropping a ton of frames. Whoops. Womp womp.
Although
let us know if it's bothering you.
I would still say Raincoat's more,
well, Raincoat is not post-apocalyptic.
Cyberpunk.
But when you, yeah, it's like, when you play, like, that's what I'm saying, like, if you play one game that's really strongly in one genre, and for you it's really good and satisfying, then I don't want to play a ton of other games in that genre. I don't want to play another, you know, and even though I really love that, like, Neo-Tokyo cyberpunk style of, like, art, I'm big into, like, the LED neon lights and whatnot, once I play one really good one, I don't want to play another one, because then what if it doesn't, you know, then I don't want to be comparing the two, or what if it doesn't fulfill me the same as the other ones, and kind of stuff like that. And sometimes you just need a break. So I'm like, that was something where I was kind of like,
they're just emotionally taxing.
Exactly, and JRPGs are a bit emotionally taxing. Just,
at least the heavy ones.
That's the nature of JRPG, and it's not a bad thing. That's what you sign up for when you go into it. You're signing up for.
That's actually, I've said this before. That's actually
like you're going there for that, you know.
This is the reason, like, I liked Fire Emblem.
Bloop.
That was actually the reason I really liked Fire Emblem, is because in a world of all the same grungy JRPGs that are all in black and white and grays and like dark
in a world where all Fire Emblems are gray.
No, well, that's the reason I like Fire Emblem, because Fire Emblem was colorful, it was flashy, it had very, like, classical JRPG themes that were very romanticized, very, like, you know,
medieval style, like.
Well, it has a simplistic story structure, but where it's shown was its characters. Yeah, you could kind of predict where the story was going most of the time, but that was fine because that's not what you played the game for. It's just in recent games, like, again, that's why I don't understand, like, the dislike towards Engage's more colorful art style, because I'm like, honestly, in a universe where we have, like Mallory said, every JRPG seems to look the exact same now. They're grays, they're dystopian,
I was like,
they're
why don't we
dark.
have a game like Kingdom Hearts? I'm like, wait a second. Every other freaking game is like Kingdom Hearts. So they just don't get the licensing of Disney and Final Fantasy. So they all look the same because they don't have... Because when you think about the pop that Kingdom Hearts gets is from the color in the Disney characters and the Disney worlds, and then you have kind of the dark stuff like the Heartless and stuff and the Final Fantasy characters.
You just think about, like, Final Fantasy itself, you know? Oh, there's the dragon.
Uh-oh. Look at his little face! Slay, look at his little tiny wings. He's just a little guy.
So I noticed, I'm going to say one thing. So that's Hooktail. Doesn't look like she has Hooktail right now, though.
No? She had curly.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was going to be like, that's Hooktail. We know. So maybe they changed her name?
To Curltail?
Who knows?
I don't know. You gotta read the lines.
Oh, are we doing that? I thought we were just talking.
Opinion from the crowd. Do you want us to read the lines so you can look away, or do you want to read them? We both read really fast, so if we're going too fast, you can also be like, hey, slow down, you punk. But if you want us to read them, we're also open to that.
But we were also talking, so I wasn't. Yeah. I wasn't going to do that while you were trying to speak.
We're on a freaking roll.
But anyway, so the whole thing is that, like, Final Fantasy, like, I want to play them. I have, like, at least 4 of them I want to play at some point. And I have other ones like Diofield Chronicle or Octopath Traveler.
I want to know, like, the lore behind Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Because you see him everywhere, like, in Smash and stuff.
I know the basics of it. I don't know the in-depth stuff. I know enough to tell you, like,
and it's Pride Month. I gotta see what's going on with that
with the
vaguely
cloud.
fruity man.
Speaking
of Pride Month, they are releasing the translated version of Ace Attorney Investigations.
Yes.
Gay Lawyer Game Part 2! And during Pride Month, what a gift.
Yeah, like, first game he just mentioned.
A win
Second
for the
game
gays.
He's constantly pointing out, like, oh yeah, this is how he feels all the time, isn't it? I'm like, I'm glad your thoughts are on Phoenix even when you're apart.
The best part is, like, the creators are in full... It's actually very funny to see. They are in full support of the couple, but they can't because of, like, Japan's pretty homophobic and whatnot still. So they do it in, like, obscure ways. Because I saw people being like, if you took the first letter out of some of their
Instagram posts for like celebrating stuff in June. It spells out the ship name of them in Japanese, like Narumitsu.
Yeah.
That's what one of their things spelled that out. It's like they're in full support. They just can't outrightly have them be like that because then that's essentially a one-way trip to get your game blacklisted in Japan, which is like crazy bad for your sales.
Yeah.
So they can't like make them official, but they're like, and after their first game, the next 2 games have
significantly more
a ton of really androgynous characters, a ton of characters
outright like, just being like the most flamboyant things you've ever seen.
Yeah, like flamboyant people in partial drag, people really androgynous people, people who really
in the second game, and after that we have.
I was thinking about the chef guy.
The chef's third game.
I was saying
that's what I was saying. Games. Like they had like Mask Galactica in the second game, and then the third game they had the one chef guy in addition to Mask the Mask. What was his name? Ron Delight. Who were like, girl, guy, I don't really know. Even after he was talking, I was like, so
DJ said, so when are we gonna lose you? I.e. the release date.
September 6th. It's 2 days before my birthday.
There you go, September 6th.
And actually, me and Malin were thinking about like, you know, after we have that, we'll officially have all of Ace Attorney on Switch because I actually bought the Japanese version of the original collection, so we have a physical edition.
Love that game. I mean, it's just a great game because it's so fun playing that. Good. It's so fun playing that after playing Danganronpa because Danganronpa is so like.
Danganronpa is clearly chasing Ace Attorney.
Yeah. It is. It's so funny to see actually because we played, or at least I played Danganronpa first, and then we played Ace Attorney. But when you look and then we played Ace Attorney afterwards, you're like, oh my god, like this is
and then we went back and played Danganronpa after Ace Attorney.
Yeah, it's so like beat for beat. Except for Ace Attorney came out in like the early 2000s and Danganronpa came out in like 2010 or 2012. Yeah. Like it came out significantly. Like Danganronpa came out on like the PSP, I think, or the PS2 maybe.
Yeah.
It originally came out on PC, so it was originally a PC game.
Well,
and Ace Attorney originally came out on the Game Boy, so that tells you like the difference.
Yeah.
One came out on PC and one came out on Game Boy.
Pretty much made a new genre.
It did, and that's why it's so cool to see Danganronpa come in after it, because Danganronpa is definitely more like the kind of, it's very silly goofy in that way, of just very, you know, like unbelievable stuff. I don't know if it's like fantastical would be the way to call it, where it's just kind of like...
Just wacky, I think is the best way.
Yeah, just
in the best way possible.
Yeah, it's like you really don't take any characters too seriously, but it's serious enough in some areas. But at the same time,
there's drama.
But yeah, it's like the best way to look at it is with a kind of like a huge suspension of disbelief, which I think is really helpful. It's very fun. I was like, I really do enjoy parts of the game. Some of the game, a lot of the writing choices are like, okay, this is a choice.
We talking about Danganronpa?
Yeah, Danganronpa. Ace Attorney, I think, level 100% of it. Danganronpa is where sometimes you're like, okay, that's definitely an author, like that's definitely
we need Coops in order to get that.
Yeah.
So we can't quite reach
so it's definitely like an author choice, like an author's favorite kind of thing to do. Their own eccentricity.
I was like, yeah, which one's
Z? I always mess up ZL and ZR. Why don't they just have Z and Z2? Hi, Olivia, what are you doing?
But we were thinking, like, because of getting investigations, we were
Can you
thinking...
grab my phone off my bed?
We were thinking about it and being like, hey, if we get investigations, we're gonna have the entire Ace Attorney, like, series on Switch. Because, like I said, I had to import it, but I did get the physical of the first trilogy, because it's not physical anywhere but in Japan, for some reason. But, and then we have the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which, is technically, like, the last game in the series, but also a prequel, because it takes place way in the past. It's like Phoenix's ancestor. So I do want to play that at some point.
Gang, gang.
And then we have the Apollo Justice trilogy we recently got, which is the one that comes after the original trilogy, and the Investigations is in the middle. So I'm like, when we get Investigations, we should just play the entire series from the beginning, just make a marathon out of it. Because I've already played Investigations, but she hasn't, so she'll be the one playing it.
Yeah, and I was like, I feel like it's just a fun game that everyone can play. It makes like a lot of pop culture references, especially mostly in the gaming community, like makes sense from there because it is an old game, but it's a very distinct
game. It really holds
game.
Up, though.
Mm-hmm. And it's very much like a ton of things came off of the first game, especially, you know, like the whole objection thing and a lot of like, I'd like to criticism in that parrot, or it was almost Christmas, but it wasn't Christmas. Like there's a lot of things that once you get into the
the gaming sphere.
Well, and think about it. Like, even before we knew anything about Ace Attorney, we knew who Phoenix Wright was because he has the iconic blue suit. He's the guy who shouts projection. We didn't know anything about the series, but we knew of it. It's one of those zeitgeist sort of things.
It is. It's just a game that I would definitely
get into that.
What is behind you?
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm like,
I know
behind
those bushes.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was somewhere. I was just trying to remember where. See, in the original one, that a little the original one, there was a little like exclamation mark that showed up when you could shake something.
Gotcha.
Now it's, I guess you have to hit it with your hammer. Yeah.
Oh, you just gotta know.
Well, because before you could shake them, and now it's like, oh, you have to hit them with your hammer. Okay.
That's good to know.
Well, yeah, I know there's a star piece by one of them. That's why I was looking.
It might have been in the last section.
I'll go check later. I have to get it with Coops anyway.
Yeah. LOL, wonk.
I keep hitting the A and
I think
B,
you go all the way left here, right? Or you have to go... Here, you have to go all the way to one side or the other to get a star piece, too.
We head to that block anyway.
Ding, ding, ding.
Nice.
Yay. Oh, there it is. I was like, I knew it was back here somewhere. Pro gamer strats.
Yep.
So I would just recommend it. It's definitely like, it's, what did you call it? It's novel. What is it? Novel?
So the other thing about Ace Attorney also helped like
visual novel. There you go.
Yes, visual novels, which is kind of a more of a niche genre.
Big fan of it.
Because it is essentially, you know, it's a book in a game format, but with you know usually minimal gameplay. But Ace Attorney really helped like get that genre like more notice in the West, because before that it didn't really happen, and then that was something that kind of helped it.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Something that really helped get that going, which I really think is pretty cool. And who was it, like the other day there was like, we were talking to someone in our D&D group, and they were like you know, I'm like, you haven't heard of Ace Attorney? I'm like, you gotta play it. Like, I don't know, and everyone's like, I don't know what they do. I'm like, but if we played it on stream, when people watch it, like, we would do our best to narrate it, obviously, just for people who are listening, but that way everyone would actually get our inside jokes.
I love
Ace Attorney.
I just love Ace Attorney.
In the spirit of Pride Month.
It is definitely, like, I don't know about investigations, but the original game is so funny because it is so Pride Month.
It's all about Edgeworth and him trying to navigate females.
I freaking love Edgeworth. First of all, Edgeworth is a gay character. But the funny thing is, in the first game was so unintentionally, like, homoerotic that the next two games, on purpose, they made like that. Like, they were like, oh, we didn't plan it, but we totally see where you're coming from, and we support it. Hey, man, when does that ever happen? Literally never.
Well, the interesting thing about it was the fact that they were just, I love it. Look at the little strides. Look how happy he looks. The thing I liked about it, is that
Heidelberg.
Yeah, Hooktail.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but she didn't seem to have a hooktail.
Maybe we just weren't looking in the right spot. Green boots.
I don't even, our house, so they told me really apart.
Did you say his name was Green Boots?
No, but I'm just like, I like the fact they're like, how do we tell one group apart from the others? He's old, like really old.
Really smart, it's funny.
But look at it. Look, I'm like smashing forward. I love that. But no, but like the thing is, so like
heal at the end.
Actually, I think if I fight a few more things, I'll be fine, because I'm pretty close actually to
wonk that guy.
Pretty close to leveling up. Here's this guy who, like, he appears in like every location, like, you know, for whatever reason.
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Isn't it a beautiful day? Oh, no, 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 no. Not you, Monsieur de la Moustache. Are you speaking to the lovely little cabbage behind you, mon petit chat?
Look at him.
Riz. Do you hear me, beautiful? Abandon this dollar and come away with me. I actually don't know how French people sound, so this might be completely out. Ew, nice wig, you disco wannabe. Take a hike, bozo the chump. Maybe that's why I talk like this now. We played this game when I was a little baby. Oh, je suis blessed, I am wounded? I don't know if I said that right.
I don't think we did.
Such brutal honesty, such sharp tongue. He said, bye, princess. Mwah. Pookie's calling.
Like, let's go somewhere else. Okay, so let's save real fast. You have to see. So, Special history. So normally this is the guy that when we first played Paper Mario, he was the one who said, I'm playing this really cool game on my Game Boy. It's called Fire Emblem. And that's because the original Fire Emblem game that came to the West, aka the Fire Emblem 6 or Fire Emblem Blazing Sword, had just come out. So this was kind of like, you know, a little hint of like, oh, hey,
because Nintendo does own Fire Emblem. They own Intelligent Systems, which owns Fire Emblem.
Yeah. So, so Fire Emblem, the first one that came to the West, had just come out, and it's just called Fire Emblem. That was before they had subtitles because they didn't know if it was going to sell well. So, question: is he going to still reference Fire Emblem here?
Let's see.
We're going to see.
It's much bigger of a franchise now. Let's go! Let's go! Fire Emblem! Because Fire Emblem is way huge now.
It rocks my sock. But like back then when we were playing Paper Mario,
Fire
no
Emblem
one knew what Fire Emblem was.
Willow wants me to ask y'all if you're having a good day.
We are having
such a good day, Willow. Thanks for asking, girl. Are you having a good day? Because we're having a good day. A much better day than we've had in other days.
Love this man right here. He's the best.
Yeah. He is awesome. Because when we were first playing it, like she said, had just come to the West. So it was very niche. Super. Like, for reference, we got it in Secret Stones. We got that one in a super pack. In a bargain bin with Tetris was the other thing.
We've told the story a few times. It's like, it was so...
She said, and now, you know, just the box alone is $80. You know, for the empty box, no manual, no game. So
yeah, it's
like,
crazy. And, like, you know, I got Path of Radiance, so it's like,
that's
for like
just how,
$500 now, I got it for $15.
Niche it was at the time. So the fact that
like,
they had them in here was really exciting.
I used to want to talk about... Yeah, okay, so he's simping Princess Peach.
Edgeworth.
So, this is the guy with depression.
Me. He's me after I come home from work. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone in my solitude and depression.
That's so funny.
But,
yeah, and, like, when we were talking about, Ace Attorney, like, for reference, she brought her 2 Ace Attorney shirts, and she wore them all the time in Europe, and
they're just really good shirts.
They are nice shirts. They've got a good design. We have...
I wear them all the time.
I think the story
Girl Scouts
is great. Like, the story they've got a really good story. Like, somewhere where I would stand by all of the cases in all the Ace Attorney games more than any case in Danganronpa. And that's saying a lot because Danganronpa has, Evie can attest this, has some really emotionally intense cases. Like, they're very good.
Yeah.
Is that the Battle Trainer guy?
Yeah, I think so. No, maybe he just shows up in every place.
Maybe.
I'm just looking around to see if we have anything interesting around here.
Can we go for chin? 60.
Oh man, Scoop.
Oh, yeah. His dad's major dead, yo. There's no way he's gonna go visit a dragon and survive.
I like that he thought that, like, oh hey, I'm gonna fight a dragon and survive. This is his girlfriend.
Kubella.
No, I think it's... What's her name again?
Daisy? Oh,
Kubiku, yeah.
I was close. Oop. Dang, girl, dunking your boyfriend real quick. A boy!
And then here's his dad, who's definitely still alive. Got a nice beard. Facial hair means a lot in this world, you know?
It does. Hooktail's one tough cookie. I mean,
I'm like,
soft cookie.
Yeah, I'm like, it is a dragon, so yeah. Probably correct on that.
Boob hurts. Your boobs ever hurt me?
Yeah, that's what I need. We're gonna need that for a recipe later. So just, you know, always. No, but like, the funny thing with like Ace Attorney is that like, so they originally wrote the characters and they admit, the whole thing is that like, oh look, he has his wife, and then that's them together, and then that's them being very old together.
And now she's dead.
I'm guessing she's dead now.
This is Evie trying to wake me up in the morning.
Yeah. That's also Malin Noir.
Slave. Aww. Idiot. Idiot.
Also, interesting thing. So Hooktail is female, by the way. But in the original version of the game, Hooktail was all referred to as he until you got to the end of the game. You met Hooktail's older brother, and then you're like, oh, she's like, what happened to my little sister? And like, oh,
We
nice.
killed her.
And that's yeah. There's another dragon named Gloomtail who's in like towards the end of the game who is very hard compared to Hooktail. So he's just like, you know, you're like, oh, Hooktail was a girl this whole time. So the fact that, like, I think it's interesting that they're actually changed it, so now you know it's a she from the very beginning. I don't know if that changes anything, but it's an interesting I always thought it was an interesting detail that Gloomtail reveals it later in the game. You're like, oh, okay. Now it's like, oh, no, you know, cool.
Okay.
Reckless fools.
We got it. We said we're going for it. We want the quick dialogue option. I can say that. Meow. Murphy. Murphyo. They are nice eyebrows. It's Mario. Nice eyebrows. Okay, close enough. Sunstone and Moonstone, you mean from Schwank? That's funny.
Sun and Moonstone from
It wouldn't be a good.
Sun and Moon.
It wouldn't be a JRPG without some fetch quests
In a Schwank forest.
and a lot of sidetracking / backtracking. And sideways tracking. Let's go fight some rocks. Hey, Coops. I'm afraid every
The
time
rest of them are naked.
they're wearing shells.
Then why are you wearing pants?
He feels like it. He's clearly very insecure.
Oh. I don't know, bye.
Like, okay, well that was a thing. Onward to go get pounded by stuff.
Yeah, you became Coops and I became Kumbella. Like, I was a total bozo dork.
Bozo dork.
That's the truth. It's nice to
You gotta
just sit down and relax and play video games for a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta hit everything though, because you never know what's happening. So yeah, so back to the thing with Ace Attorney. So I just like the fact that like when they originally made it, so the whole idea is that when you get into it, you have like Edgeworth and Phoenix are meant to be foil characters. They are literally they are like arguably.
It's blue and red.
Yeah.
I was like the original, you know how blue and red is always blue's good guys, red's bad guys? It's literally that. Blue is the defense attorney and red is the prosecutor. It's like, a lot of things are super typical, and I don't know if that originates from that game, the red and blue. I'm sure it came from games way beforehand, but it's very obvious with a lot of their visual storytelling. In their game, especially.
And they're arguably one of the earliest video game rivals too, because their games, again, it's really old. The first one was on the Game Boy.
Yeah. You know, there's other stuff, like Fire Emblem's older than it, but you know.
Well, I mean, in terms of like, you know, it's before like Sonic and Shadow. It's before like Dante and Virgil. It's for like, you know, even like what was the other one I was thinking about? That was red and blue one. It just left me.
I was like, Fire Emblem, it's red and blue units.
No, but I mean like two characters that are opposing each other.
No. There's in a ton of stuff. It's everywhere.
But point being is that like, so they were arguably one of like the most iconic rivalries. But it's also because, like, they're, like, the best, like, you know, enemies to lovers thing, if you ask me.
And they're so... And it's amazing because I just think the character rating is great for people like Edgeworth because he doesn't stay a flat character, and Phoenix isn't a flat character. It is super interesting to see...
We'll go HP.
If you lack confidence in me. Now we're healed.
Well, I figure it doesn't hurt to do that, because we're not really using flower power things just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have a lot of badges just yet, so I'm like, we'll start with that, they'll do flower power next time, then we'll do badges after that, but... Ultimately, the thing you want to get the most of is usually badge power, because you want to use all the badges.
Yeah, and you can increase HP through badges.
But, you know, to start off with, I like to, you know, like, when you don't have really anything to equip with badges, it's like, yeah, just work on getting your HP up. He's gonna jump me. I'm like, why
blah, 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 blah.
I get randomly attacked by, like, a Koopa Trooper. I'm like, we already fought one of you.
He's gonna throw a rock. Kill him. That guy's got a rock!
Not just emotionally.
Well, they sometimes throw it at the enemies.
No, if it's trash, they're throwing it at you. If it's items, it might be a fan.
Okay.
So you have to make sure not to hit X if like someone's trying to show you an item or a coin or something. See, this is a scripted fight that wasn't here originally.
Hmm.
I'm guessing this is just to show, like, you know, the backdrop. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember when you eventually get, like, the little, like, like, the sprayers, those can freeze you sometimes?
Yeah.
Can't wait until we get an upgraded theater, you know?
I was gonna say, it's like, like, when sometimes the audience will, like, run away when you get damaged. Or, like, the bosses will eat the audience.
Yep. 10 times.
This is a long game, but it's a good one.
I like the fact that, like, in some ways, this is, like, you know, third, you know, like, we're like, oh, well, this is the audience just there for, like, you know, fourth wall breaking stuff, you know, like, they're not actually there, and then, like, the boss will be like, and I'm gonna go attack the audience, like, what?
No!
Do we realistically set up a stage every time we fight?
Yeah, I think that'd be really funny, actually.
Like, it's one of those things, like, yeah, just don't question it too much. So, like, the funny thing with Ace Attorney, so, like, you know, obviously they just try and make it so that, like, Edward and Phoenix are just, like, their rivals, they're in opposition with each other. But then, like, they, like, notice, like, all these online forums that, like, start popping up. That's, like, shipping the two of them, like, oh, this is, you know, there's so many things, and they're like, oh! Like, now that we look at it, yeah, you're right, it was pretty obvious.
There's a very iconic scene that he goes, you've burdened me, oh no, incorrect. You've saddled me with these unnecessary feelings.
And we're like, how is that not...
iconic scene
How does that not sound like a confession?
It's a super, 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 like, in context, it's a very, very homo moment. And I mean, we're very big fans because it's very...
And also, mind you, we went
subtle
in with...
and realistic.
Well, we went in with the knowledge that these characters were shipped, but we didn't go in with the idea that they were going to be shipped. We thought it was just a fandom thing that they made
Yeah,
up.
it's like, we see a lot of things, and you're like, well, I know the fandom does this, and we went and we were like, oh, this makes a lot of sense, actually.
Well, because sometimes you go and you'll go and be like, oh, well, you go, like... If we were to look at, like, maybe, like, Has-Been Hotel or something like that, you can go and ship characters, but I don't think there's any that we're saying, oh, these are going to become canon, or these are canon. Like, but when you go into...
That one's like, they then started creating the games based around those, which is awesome.
Exactly. But, like, in Ace Attorney, we're like, oh, we know these characters are shipped, but it's probably going to be something super subtle,
well,
or
like,
it's going to be something
Joker
that's, like, not even
there. From Persona 5 are shipped, and we're like, oh, we don't really see that, or, I can see where that comes from.
Until the next game. In that case, then they just whack you over the head with it.
That was perfect.
In the original Persona 5, like, I guess I get what you're going for, but I don't really see it. But then, like, in Ace Attorney, we're just like, oh, wow, they're not being subtle at all.
Wow, that's...
I don't know how else you're gonna interpret that interaction, besides the fact that these two definitely have a thing for each other. Mm-hmm. And the best thing is, it's not like one of those, like, typical, like, romance things like, oh, they're in love with each other. No, it's just them building a relationship over the course of like 6 games.
Yes, like it's a very realistic relationship being created. They have to be friends first. They have to reconcile their differences.
But the fact that literally they are like soulmates, and the fact that like their fates are so tied together that they just keep bumping into each other, even when they're like across the world from each other, they're always just there for each other. It's like the best.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to ship them, they still have like the best friendship ever. Like they are so like solid with each other.
Fortress, baby.
Yep. We're gonna hit these dudes.
Bonk. Googly brains. Let's go, gamers.
Okay, we're gonna make this a little faster.
Bald clef. Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome. Did you need?
You can use the power smash to do that.
Oh,
that's
like,
just the fact.
On them
I can get it. You think we're never gonna run into a bald clef again?
No, we're gonna run into like 1,000 of those, dude.
But I was also like, I could use the power smash, or I could just use an item. So I'm like, we're gonna speed that one up a little bit here.
Koopa.
Those ones you have to use. Really those are ones that, yeah, you have to be quick on the draw with these ones. But anyway, so I just thought it was funny that, like, you know, you go into, like, again, the fact that you go into Ace Attorney and you're like, oh, this isn't going to be anything, and then you go and do it, you're like, oh, no, these two have a, like, at the very least, whether you ship them or not, you can't deny that these two are, like, destined to run into each other and be like there for each other, regardless of what you want to say about anything else.
It's proven like 20,000 times in the game. And you're like, dang, can you like get a room?
Exactly.
Can you
like it's that's why I'm like, I think we need to play that on stream. That'd be a fun one to do. But like essentially the thing is like after they saw the first game,
they do yap. It is a yapping game. We played it. I did fall asleep a lot.
Well, I mean, like we wouldn't voice the whole thing, but like you know,
no, that's what I'm saying. Like it would be
cases.
a lot of I was like it would be a lot of reading, which is not a bad thing. That's simply saying you have to read prep and be like, hey guys, get your glasses on. I think I might need glasses.
Well, that's the thing. Like if we did it like a you know, if we did it and we like, you know, just read it out like as necessary, by the way, like, you know, obviously if when we're going testing and evidence and stuff like that, we're not going to read all like the press details. We're just be like, okay, essential things only here. Like not every single detail, but like I think it'd be cool because it's definitely a story I think everyone should experience, and it's also so easy to get them now. Like you can literally experience the entirety of this franchise with like 4 collections, which mind you all are like $30, not even like the full $60 game price of like a Switch game goes nowadays. Like they're all like $30.
Yeah, which is a great price for multiple games. Yeah, I mean it's just a fun little game. It's just a whole game.
It's also if you ever been in a story and be like, yes, I would like a story that really makes me think, but is also a little silly. Like I like a good story that gives emotional like investment out of me, but also isn't like. Now I feel like weighed down. That's how I feel about JRPGs sometimes, especially like Malian says, the ones that are like post-apocalyptic and stuff, where they just have very heavy storylines.
Womp.
Yeah, I missed that one. Like those are the ones that I'm kind of like I need to be like, oh, okay, is my thing dying? Is my thing not responding on this side?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, I'm like I'm like. There we go.
Timing was just wrong.
But that was definitely one of those things from just like, because sometimes you just have those really heavy storylines, or you just have those ones that are like just make you feel a lot of things. And that was one that was like it was like it was, you know, really good writing. It was like deep and impactful, but it was never a moment where you were like, oh, I feel exhausted. You're like, no, I feel smart because I figured this out. It's kind of like actually the whole like enthrallment when we were talking about like when we were doing like why we like Connor section in Detroit Become Humans. It's cool to be smart. It's cool to find all the things and the clues and stuff, then put the puzzle together yourself.
Yeah, and Danganronpa is like baby's first case. For the first like 2 levels, it really is baby's first case. It's like,
oh, they hold your hand so much.
Do you know how to spell the word knife? Let me help you with 16 mini games.
Yeah.
And then you get to the 3rd case and they're like, if you couldn't guess that he obviously stabbed himself with the knife and then threw his hand across the room to make it fall into the wall, and then that made the earthquake happen, and then that made the plane hit the, you know, the car that was driving down the road at the exact second his sister was there. How did you not know that? And you're like, what? Like, they start just getting goofy, you know, after that. Which I like a lot.
Yeah.
You really have to, like, you gotta know exactly what they're asking and how they're asking for. You gotta, like, it's not logical in any way, and I do appreciate that. Because Ace Attorney is 100% just logic. It's like a very normal, good case kind of thing.
Well, the thing I like about it is that it really builds, especially the first game. It really builds from case to case. When we got to the last case of the first game, we were like, oh my gosh, they're pulling in details they set up in the first tutorial case. Like, not a word is wasted. They do yap a lot, but like, everything is important. Everything will become important. That's why
Isn't that funny?
The last case in every Ace Attorney game is always such a banger. Because
it wraps up the whole
everything falls into place, and you just feel so smart. Cause like, oh my gosh, that's the thing we found in case 2.
Which isn't because Danganronpa has the same setup of like 4.
It just doesn't always have the same payoff at the end.
And it's like normally you do the first case as a tutorial, it's a throwaway case. The second case is like, okay, now you're kind of getting in it for real. You got to do this on your own. The third case is typically when you're like, oh. Like, this is kind of ramping up. That's when typically is a little bit more difficult to solve. The fourth one, you're like, oh my god, like, why? I gotta take a break.
My heart.
My heart hurts. Why would you do that to me emotionally? And then the fifth case is like...
Is either the thing that clinches it all?
No, it's literally like, what? What is this? Because the first game, you're like, what? Because it's the first game. The second game, you're like, huh? And then you're like, oh. And the third game, you're like, this is
I feel like
stupid.
the last case is either the thing that clinches it all together or makes you be like, why did I waste my time with this?
The third game, I was literally like, what? Because also they progress in length as the game goes on, obviously. So the last case, the third case in the third game took me like 2 hours to get to the midpoint, and then it took me like 2 hours to finish it. I was like, this is so bad. And the worst part is just one of the characters that I liked the design, but I ended up being like, this character's really dumb. So I was like, well, oh well.
Is it who I'm thinking of in the third game?
Yes. Yeah.
That wasn't this character's really dumb. That was they chose a really dumb thing to do with that character.
Took it on a really weird path. And I was like, this is stupid. But his design's super, super cool. So I was like, ah.
Yeah, like, I don't even think it was, like, it was just the fact, like, of all the things we decided to do with this is what we went with?
Yeah, really. Nice.
Also, the fact that, like, your partner doesn't, like, you know, increase in HP until you upgrade them, it's just, like...
That is dumb. But that's how the original game is. So. Can't
What
complain.
type of symbols did he do in the chat down there? I can't really see.
P and poop. Dog, I can't freaking see. Flipping table. Table flipping.
But, so, like, just, again, Danganronpa is definitely one that looked at Ace Attorney, it's like, yeah, we can do that, and then they're like, sometimes they really can, and sometimes they really can't.
I think Danganronpa's good if you're weird.
Well,
if you don't mind a little bit of super weird, because I will say some of the characters are cool. The art style is definitely like a choice. The first time I ever watched Danganronpa is because I had seen the art style before, and I was like, this is ugly. Because let's be real, the first game, the non-remastered version, the original version of the first game, I looked at that art and I was like, this is so ugly.
It's a style, that's for sure.
I was like, what the heck is with their butt heads? But the remastered version looks way better. Because they redid all the art. They're like 10th anniversary edition. And then the
Let's just need a good remaster.
that's all it did. And then at the first game, I still say the first game's character writing and the story is really solid. The characters are really strong in the first game, and I think the story, like, it makes sense. I think all the elements kind of play into each other decently. And then the second game, it got ups and downs. I definitely say ups and downs. The third game, it's like, what? It's like the highs are so high and the lows are so low.
I watched her play the second to last case. I'm like, wow, that was amazing. Then you get to the actual last case, you're like, and there goes all the adrenaline I have. Now I'm just angry.
Yo, what the heck? That's literally what I felt like.
Well,
because the first game's like, what?
The last two cases are actually really interesting.
And then the second game's like, what? What? Huh? Oh, yeah, okay.
And then the third game's literally like, best case, and this game sucks. So I would say the fourth case in that game is almost better than some of the fourth case in the second game. But the fourth case in the second game is really good as well.
How many coins? Yeah, I got enough coins on here. I'm like, I'm not that low on health, but I'm like, it probably doesn't hurt anything to, you know, just. I'm like, we got enough coins. But it was just, you know, that's why I'm like,
save time. Save after you heal.
Well, in case I don't, fine. But it was just like playing it was just one of those things where like, wow, this is like, you know, sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's just like, no.
It's our boy. What does he sound like? He sounds like a Thwomp Bob. He kind of sounds like Banjo-Kazooie. I'll take you on, Buster. Hoo-ha. My name is actually Metatron. From Undertale. This is where Metatron from Undertale was inspired by.
Yeah.
That's obviously not real. But I think that'd be really funny.
I don't necessarily mean it isn't.
He's another boss. I'll put you on a game show. Metaton, maybe? Or Metatron? Metatron? I think it's Mettaton.
I don't remember.
What's hidden in the Schwank Fortress?
Picklestone.
Yes. Nino. Or that's correct. Me when I'm trying to trick the kids. I'm like, what letter is in your name? W? And they're like, yes. Oh, I thought I tricked you. 1 mushroom and 1 fire flower. $1 million. I'm gonna say 5 and something else. Maybe 6, yeah. Maybe 12. That's like a weird number. I think a mushroom would be 5.
Cool.
Let's go!
Let's go for random guessing!
Yeah, that was already kind of a hard one. Ooh, Koopa is funny. Birdle is funny. What about Kroop?
Kroop?
Yeah, Moopa is funny too. See the Birdle or Kroop? Let's go, gamers!
Nice.
This is how I got through college, yo.
Just
this is how I have
randomly.
my degree. In your mom's house. Hotel Castle. Yes. Yeah, buddy, I studied for this.
We didn't, but you know.
Can't be true. Brain pain. Diabolical question 5. Rogue port to Petal Meadows. Buddy, we gotta go through a pipe.
Racing a cart.
Yes, sir. I'm the winner, and you suck. If we lose, we fight him.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have fought him. Do we still fight?
No, I don't think so.
Nice. Is he impossible to beat?
No, just you. It's gonna be a hard fight.
Stupid rules.
Stupid rules. I feel like there are a lot of bosses work that way. We're like, darn it. I wish I didn't sign that contract.
Boink. Beep, boop, boop. Bye, guys. Going to Hooktail's castle. See you never.
No, we're getting the little stone things.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were going. Yay, multi-bounce.
There's the multi-bounce.
I like multi-bounce because that means you can do like fancy stuff.
Well, it also means that you can get like, you know, if you
That's
have
like
like
the
a
most
line
helpful.
of, a line of Koopas, you can knock them down.
Yeah, you can bonk them. A fuzzle, right? Isn't that what it's called?
I think they're whole fuzzies, yeah.
Fuzzy. It's a Soot Sprite knockoff.
Hey, look, there's my bro right there.
Luigi. It's me, Luigi.
He's like, I come to all
Speaking of Luigi, in the Nintendo Direct, they had a Luigi's Mansion 2 report, Yo, Luigi's Mansion 2 already looks way worse than Luigi's Mansion 1. Why are they... It's the ghost design. This is a rant I do every single time we talk about this. Luigi's Mansion 1, I feel is like just like a... It's like FNAF 1. Like, it's like a masterclass in doing a child-friendly horror game, you know? Because I feel like the atmospheric design is really good. The ghost design is really good. Mwah! Give you a little kissy.
Yeah, the thing about those is you have to wait on the guard.
Yeah, I never get those.
I only get it sometimes. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for me. Give me a bounce. Let's freaking go. And Luigi's Mansion 2, it's like once they started making the almost like the Lego games. Once they started making the ghosts comedic, then it no longer. Then it's just Luigi is in a house with goofy ghosts.
Well, before
it's no longer like a horror game.
The ghosts actually felt well, even if it wasn't a horror game. The fact was the original ghosts had like they were more see-through, and they had kind of like this weird like like how the boos used to sound. They sounded creepy.
Well, and they all had individual designs. There was like I think maybe 6 generic types of ghosts, and everything else was individualized. And the thing is, like, when we were watching the thing, it's like the ghost gets scared in the bathroom and, oh, you ran into the wall, doink, oh, silly goose. It's like, in the other one, like, the ghosts were actually, like,
missed that one.
Definitely enemies. And they weren't, like, goofy. It's like they weren't there to be funny. They were there to be, like, obstacles. Like, to be a decent opponent for the little vacuum suck, the little suck of life, if you will.
Well, like when you first came in and you saw the orange ghost coming after you, it was kind of scary. Yeah, or at the very least stressful. And then once but the blue and the green ones, like these things aren't scary.
Yeah, so when we watched them, we were like, oh, boo. Like I can't believe the second game went so bad so fast. Sunstone, now I can evolve my Pokemon. Little fuzzy wuzzy baby. Multi-bounce, my girl.
Or we could use a fire flower.
No, we could use one of those. We're gonna get like 1,000 of these. Get wrecked.
Yeah. Hey, whenever I can avoid an encounter, I will do so.
Yeah, and we're almost ready to level up.
We're nailing this game.
Well, it is only our, what, 3rd or 4th playthrough?
5th, I think.
5th playthrough? 5th?!
We have all 4 files used up on our main game, so that means we had to play it at least 4 times.
I feel like we would just save in different files on the same game.
No, we had.
Because I feel like you've played it through one time, I played it through one time, and I feel like we played it through.
I've played it through twice.
3rd time just for funsies because
we had the blue Yoshi, we had the orange Yoshi, we had the black and red Yoshi, and we had the green Yoshi.
I feel like we just saved before we got Yoshis and then saved after we got Yoshis.
No, we went through it. I went through it at least twice.
That's an opinion you can have. That's incorrect. Give us a bang, doing, doing, doing. Can you do like a fancy jump, like a ping, 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 like a double jump on each one?
Not yet.
Wham! I want to be able to 4 times join. Little puzzles. Cause then what do they when we go into like that pit of horrors? See, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I just have to get the timing right.
Honestly, I feel like timing was easier on the GameCube controllers because they were plugged in. Bluetooth controllers, it's hard to get timing because you gotta
and it's
account for a little bit of delay.
Yeah, and also just
Is this your OLED? No, this is your normal Switch.
Yeah, my OLED one is the one that for some reason.
The OLED one I like those stuff.
Well, it's good when the things are plugged in, but for some reason at times it will just randomly be like, it's not even like it's out of battery. It's like, we're just not going to connect right now. I'm like, okay, fine.
Okay. Choice. I'm a big fan. We were just thinking about that when we were watching the Direct and being like, when are we gonna do Switch number 2, you know? Because it's time, like, if the PS5 is out now and it can do, like, upgraded graphics, when are we gonna get the, like, upgraded Switch kind of vibes? My butt hurts.
What we really need to do is get a better cushion.
It's like this bed's comfy to lay on. It's not comfy to
sit on for many hours.
Sit on, because there's no back support. How are we supposed to be comfy gamers? Well, we are comfy gamers in Olivia's room, and then she moved home, and we're like, ooh. Stat increase.
So which one you want to do? Badges or flower power?
Let's do, let's continue what you said. Let's do flower, and then we'll do badge. See, that's really satisfying when you have like 90 HP or like 60 HP and you get like hella hearts. That's satisfying.
Yeah, like literally sometimes we would go and be like grinding it out and I'd be like limping along on 5 HP like until I could level up and then be like, and I live!
Full heal. Very satisfying. A fuzzle, who could have guessed? Is this called a fuzzy?
They're called fuzzies, yeah.
Fuzzy wuzzy. He's got a little item. He's got an item.
Well, I have a little item too, so you know.
They say can't flee this fight as if this is a hard fight. They've all got 3 HP.
Well, it's, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, it is much more tuning. We again have played through this game at least 4 times.
Yeah. Just love this game. You know, favorite Paper Mario game. Favorite Mario game, definitely.
Well, you know, I think that says something about a game. Like, you know, like how many games do you play in like a 10 out of 10 slot? Like, I think anything that you're willing to play through like 2 or 3 times, especially if it's a long game, says something about how good it is.
Yeah, because this is a long. I would say, you know, 50, 60
It's not as long as like some of the like mega JRPGs now, but you know, for its time, this is a pretty lengthy game.
Yeah, because I was just looking. I've been playing. Oh my god, a golden fuzzy. Now I lunch in your head. I like this little banjo moment. Look how angry he is. He's a little angry fuzzy.
Little samba music going on here.
I think he's got his own little theme. That's schwonk for it.
It's the shiny version.
I think, was it suck up flower power?
No, it just says it doesn't suck up things.
Oh, okay. Which one sucks up flower power? What one's got it?
The pink ones.
The pink ones. Maybe he eats your coins. Oh no, he just does damage when you die.
Yeah, I was trying to guard against it.
That's fair. Bonk? Shalonk? His eyes are getting red. He's wasted. You chumps are tougher than you look. Oh! Oh! Do you need a tattle on the horn?
Yeah, I'll have to do that in a minute. I got
every other.
Yeah.
Oh. She's dying. Rip. You're fine, girl. You're just being really dramatic.
Yeah. Gotta look at the fuzzy one.
If she dies, she'll be fine.
The fuzz is a buzz.
Schwonk. Obviously, I don't even think. Oh, you can attack the fuzzy heart. I didn't even know you could attack them.
Yeah, you can.
Get him, girl.
It's not gonna kill them right now, so might as well just jump on them.
Yeah, just bonk them.
Pretty sure I can't use this. Yeah. Man, it makes me look forward to having Vivian where he can just burn everything.
Mm-hmm. Vivian's my favorite one just because I like her because she's a little purple witch. She's my fave.
Mm-hmm. See, it got the. I have like a delay on my thing.
Yeah, that's what I say, like, the wired controllers are better. This one might be good to get, like, a pro controller for.
Well, we do have a pro controller we can hook up to it.
Yeah, so we might just need to go get a pro controller from our room.
Thank you.
He said, heal your partner, scumbag. Sorry.
You survived.
He said, you're fine, don't be dramatic. You're okay.
She's like, I'm done.
Plug up some water, or she said, gloop, gloop, gloop.
What was the last multiplayer game you played? What was the last multiplayer game we played?
Technically for you it would be Genshin, because it's technically... Oh, you got an email? Do we have emails before?
Yeah, just it didn't show up in the main menu like that.
That's cute.
We never checked it.
Yeah, we'll never read those. Okay, we don't need to know anything about the crystal stars because we already know everything. They're super smart and awesome. You mean PvP?
I think he means things that we play together.
That's hard. We don't play a ton of those.
Not recently, at least.
I was like,
Most likely, it's something like Pokemon, honestly.
Yeah, it's like I play like Smash Bros with my friends. We haven't played
PvP.
anything. We don't have a ton of PvP stuff. I was like,
because we're cooperative gamers.
Yeah,
we're a game of
co-op.
We're a family of 4 kids. We're usually cooperative.
Yeah, PvP stuff.
Otherwise, we would have all killed each other.
Yeah, well, it's also different. I would say, yeah, we've played like Fire Emblem Heroes. Oh, not Heroes. Fire Emblem Warriors. That's again another. Technically, it's a co-op, and then we've done like Smash Bros. There's a My Hero Academia fighting game is what I would say I played.
We haven't played that one.
Evie doesn't normally play a ton of those. We've played those with last time we played those was in the fall. Oh, not the fall. Maybe in like April but that was with like little kids.
So I wouldn't even say Warriors. Like yeah, that's not that.
Yeah,
either.
because Warriors is co-op. It was like we played PvP with like little kids on Smash Bros. Or like Mario Party.
We don't really like competing.
Because Evie's good and I'm bad. But the violence, you're missing it.
Again, we were just talking about Danganronpa and stuff like that. Don't worry, we're giving our violence in other ways.
You know Danganronpa. I'm literally again about murder.
Honestly, compared to like some of the like JRPGs and visual novels we do, just like being little anime people like hitting each other, it's so much. That's actually a very tame in comparison.
Is when I played Raincoat, it's in full 3D. First of all, can't recommend it enough. The full 3D, if you're into the Danganronpa art style, the full 3D is great. It's a really beautiful game. Like, I love the style choices. I love the aesthetic choices. I love the character design. It's really great. And I love a lot of parts of the some parts of the story have me a little bit confused near the end, because it's still at the end of the day. The Danganronpa creator made it, so it's still like some of the writing choices. I'm like, okay, this is very character specific. But that one,
AKA, you're being like, okay, are you going somewhere with this?
I know, really, but it was very surprising to see, actually, the kills in that game were not nearly as graphic and gruesome as
You gotta find a PvP game you might... It's not necessarily that I wouldn't like, it's more the fact of, like, would it hold me? Like, I've played, actually, quite a few of those, but the thing is, like, when we play, like, Smash Bros., we enjoy it for, like, 30 minutes, and then we go play Pokemon. We go play Fire Emblem. We play something that holds us.
Yeah, it's typically story is what we're typically
and most
lacking.
PvP games just don't have that.
Yeah, like especially what is it? Mamorgs, Mamorg. It's typically that kind of stuff, which is more open world and more
like the closest thing we got
stories.
The closest thing I ever got to PvP was playing like competitive Pokemon, and I only did that like Gen 6 maybe. That was probably the closest thing I got to like a PvP sort of thing. But the thing is, like, it doesn't hold me for very long. Like, I'll be interested, I might learn everything I can about it if I'm really hyper fixating, but generally it just doesn't hold me, or I just don't come back.
The closest thing we have is like Genshin Impact. We can work with people, and that's like a much
even that wouldn't hold me.
I was like, yeah, like excuse me. Like, we're not big League of Legends. Yeah, we're not big League of Legends people. We're not big.
The best thing I can say is Smash Bros.
We were talking to one kid in our camp on Monday, and he's big Rocket League. I was like, we're not huge Rocket League people. We're not big online player games, and I feel like most PvP.
Monster Hunter. I played Monster Hunter Stories, again, because of the story.
Oh, yeah. Evie's played Monster Hunter Stories.
I love the first one. I was working on the second one. But again, that was a game that I played for the stories and the fact that I could bond with my little dragon dudes.
Is Monster Hunter PvP?
Maybe.
I thought it was.
But again, like, I played the stories version, the RPG version, that has, like, you know, bonding with your dragons and stuff, but...
Yeah, like, generally, the games that we kind of steer toward is she's very heavy into JRPG and turn-based strategy. I'm into, also turn-based strategy, but more life sim and, like, detective games is more my vibe. And I'm into some JRPGs, but definitely more...
I think we're both into detectives, but you are definitely a life sim person.
Yeah, I definitely do much more life sim, and I do less JRPG less often. I do it, like... I do one, and then I take a break for a while, and then I do one.
I never recommend League. Chris doesn't even play anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, everyone I've heard that plays it is like, this game ruins your life.
That
and
game
I'm like, oh, okay.
Game just sticks around for too long, and the power creep just becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, and
I mean, Fire Emblem Heroes is that way now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they were talking about, like, the people, like, the atmosphere is bad. I'm like, that's
well,
fair.
that doesn't surprise me. That's just online gaming for you. That's why I just don't do online gaming.
My mom yesterday was singing the Chug Jug song.
It was funny.
We can be pro Fortnite gamers. I played it for her in the car and it got stuck in her head. She was singing it all day. It was really funny. Like, Fortnite, anything that's first person or third person shooter, is difficult for me because I'm bad. It's not because you're like, oh, for you I won't hold you. For me, it's because it's 100% skill issue. It's so skill issue. Like,
and it's also because we are not like PC gamers. Like, shooting games are much easier when you're using a mouse to aim. When you're trying to use a control stick, much harder. So any sort of shooter games, we generally won't play because we are not PC gamers. We just never have had strong computers that can handle games like that. We've always been console or, like, you know, handheld console.
Well, that's just because when you got 4 kids, that would be 4 PCs versus a console's got 4 controllers. You know, so that's a lot of it is just
why we have so many party
gaps.
games.
Yeah, so a lot of it's because of just we're pretty close in age over all 4 of us, and we moved twice, which is difficult.
Closest thing to PvP we probably have is like Mario Party.
I do enjoy online games since I like talking to people. That is completely so true. That's why I would say the closest thing I would get to that would be Neopets.
You like talking to people, but you never answer me on your Discord?
Dang, she called you out. She said you like talking to people, but you ignore me. Side-eye. Have you tried God of War?
People have recommended it to me.
I've seen some videos. I have not actually
I feel that it's going to be something that falls into the same category as The Last of Us, where I can appreciate it as an artwork. I don't know if it's going to be my vibe, though.
Totally fair.
Because, like,
I've seen great clips of it in GameStop.
Oh yeah, I've seen great things.
It looks great.
It looks like an amazing game.
And I've heard from a lot of, like, YouTubers that they're like, this game is awesome, especially Jacksepticeye, like, this game is hella tight.
I wouldn't know. I have to try it. Because, like, for instance, like, when we played Astro Chain, like, I really like the combat from that one, so I'd be willing to try another Platinum game because that was really fun. Platinum games just have some pretty good combat. But the thing is that, like, Last of Us, for instance, great story. I've watched probably, like, 20 different video essays on it and its sequel, and I appreciate the game a lot like I would, like, a piece of literature, like a book. But the thing is, I will probably never play it because I'm not good at survival horror games. I do not enjoy them. I think zombies are lame in terms of a game. Well, no, because zombies are an environmental hazard. They are not a monster that you're trying to do something in. They're not really scary. It's for the reasons of, like, it's either for stealth or it's for horde tactics. There's not a whole lot of things, which is fine. The whole point of Last of Us is not about the zombies. It's about humanity and what it has become, and this is a world where hope doesn't exist. That's the interesting thing there. It's not the zombies. It is... They do have the most interesting version of zombies in the fact that they are, like, based off of, like, fungus. That's pretty cool, instead of just, like, oh, they bite in just because, you know, virus just because. Resident Evil has zombies, and, like, that one... They are definitely the wacky side of zombies. But, like... I will probably never play the game all the way through because I have no interest in like, because again, it's the shooter thing. I don't have good aim. I don't really want to be playing a stealth game. I'll just be sitting there scared in the corner. And I'm like, I already know how the story goes. I'll watch someone else play it and enjoy it from that thing. But it's like, it's not a gameplay type I'm going to enjoy because I don't really care for shooters. I don't really care for zombie games.
He said, first of all, he said, listen, man, that's typing. That's different. And to that, I say, voice to text, my homie. Gotta get that voice to text going on.
Hey, when you send me voice messages, I respond back.
And
okay,
then,
report direct mail. Frankly,
no,
okay.
please unsubscribe me. He said, come on, zombies are awesome. I think everyone has things they like,
I have played
things
the
they don't
Walking
like.
Dead Telltale games. The biggest... Oh, so, you weren't here when we were doing Detroit Become Human, but we actually did talk a little bit about the Walking Dead Telltale games. I have played the first one. And my thing was that I did enjoy it. I did like the choice of it. I liked the art style. I thought it was interesting. Here's the problem I had with it. And this is actually the reason we enjoyed Detroit Become Human so much, is that most of the choices in that game are arbitrary. Or they are invisible. AKA, like, they don't actually change anything. You choose to save one person over the other. Turns out both of them were always meant to die. So your choice didn't actually matter. You could have killed either one and it would have changed the story at all. There's like 3 choices in the first game that actually do things.
I feel like people have interests in things like it's either dragons or zombies or...
They're still good games.
So I think it's interesting because like he was like, I love zombies, and you're like, I love dragons. You know, like everyone's got like something that they really enjoy and some things they don't enjoy. Like for us, I think it's like zombies are not really my fave, but I'm a big fan of like Neo Tokyo stuff, you know? Or like some people might be like, oh, I hate cyberpunk. I really love kind of like gritty realism. Or I might be like, I don't like gritty realism. I like, super animated things. I feel like people have definitely preferences. And I think it's very much shown in what games are really popular at a time. Like right now, Evie was also talking about when we were watching the direct, there's a lot of like anime adaptation games because anime is pretty popular right now.
It's been like every big anime I've ever heard of, I feel has been in video game form within the last 3 years.
Yeah. So like that's another thing you can look at. Is like I think it's also a big personal preference thing.
Got Coops.
Come on, Coops.
So the biggest thing he can do is that he can get things with his shell.
What time is it? I'm really tired.
That's how I was figuring. We get to the castle and then pause there.
I definitely like playing, but I also am like, oh my god, why am I feeling so sleepy right now? I'm sleepy. Most anime games are really bad.
Well, I mean, like more.
I would say.
Well, the thing
is,
it
depends on how they choose to adapt them
Exactly.
because it depends like the My Hero Academia one had a fighting game. But the fighting game was cool because it was the 8-button system versus like the 4-button system. Like Smash Bros, it was the 8-button system, more like Mortal Kombat. So that one was cool. And the Demon Slayer game, I only played a little bit of, but it's like a full replay of the first season and like decent graphics. And you fight out all the fights. So I haven't played it all the way, but that sounds really cool. Well, those are the only 2 I've tried because I agree. Sometimes you're like, yikes, if it's like a party game or it's like a really janky fighting game. Like the My Hero Academia one, I didn't go all the way because I'm not very good at that fighting style. So that's another one where I was like, alright, well, this is cool in theory because it's like a fighting anime. But I agree. It depends on how they adapt because if it's not good, like that's, Dang, thanks for the faith, girl. Oh. Aww. Yeah, I want you to be you. Oh. You're in a toxic relationship.
We gotta go get one of the...
Crazy. Okay, I would love if they didn't do that.
I was like, I'm missing. I did play the Walking Dead game, and I think I actually got like a collection of them because I did want to see how the other ones ended up. But it was it's also just one of those things where I'm like, I enjoyed it. the thing that frustrated me was that, like, I played the first game, and the biggest thing that made an impact on me, let's see that I can remember how to do this, is so, and the biggest thing was, like, so there's, like, this one guy in, like, the first game that you can be, like, your friend, and, like, you know, one of the survivors in your little party. So, like, I want this guy to be on my side. So I, like, gave his, like, because he has him, his, like, wife, and his son. So I gave them, like, really special treatment because I wanted them to be on my side. I love the back sprites. It's such a nice addition. You see him his little hoodie. So I gave him special treatment. So I treated his wife really nice. I was really nice to his son. I gave them, like, preferential treatment, gave him, like, food and stuff. And so then when it came time for him to stand by me or not, I was like, okay, I've treated this guy so nice. I've built up all this good faith along the way. You know, like, there was one instance that, like, you know, I did something that, you know, he didn't like because it was, like, you know, I was saving a different character. But I was like, okay, I've built up all this good faith, and they had all these, like, things where, like, oh, so-and-so will remember that, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you're like, okay. You know? But, so I'm like, he's gonna join me. And then I go and do it. Okay, and X. There we go. Nice. See, and we... Yeah, we'll turn that one on once our badge power goes back up again. Come on. I have to wait for them to swoop down. I'm like, can I jump on it?
Luckily, the more battles you fight, the more we'll level up.
Exactly. But, so let's knock these guys down. But, so I was gonna be like, hey, I bet that... I bet that he'll join me. And so I go and talk to him. He's like, no, it turns out you don't care about anyone but yourself, and I'm not going to join you. I'm like, what? So I went and Googled it. And there's 4 dialogue options. There's one dialogue thing you have to hit in order for him to join you. By the way, it doesn't matter if you've been a jerk to him the entire game. It doesn't matter if you've done all the worst choices with him. As long as he's still in your party and you use this one dialogue option, he'll join you and be your best buddy. And I'm like, so there's no point. Then why did I bother building up this relationship with you? And that's when I kind of like, so I beat the first one and I thought it was good, but then after that I was kind of like, well, now I know, like, you know, pulling back the curtain, now that I know that it doesn't really matter and it isn't really logging my choices, it gives me a couple arbitrary dialogue options. It just kind of turned me off from choice-based games after that, until of course we played Detroit Become Human, like, oh wow, our choices actually really matter now. And that was like, you know, so that's why that game had such a huge impact on me, because like, wow, this is like exactly what I was looking for in those Telltale games, was like, this thing actually changed. So another Telltale game I do want to play is The Wolf Among Us. I've bought that one. I've been meaning to play it for years. I need to get into it. It has one of those sort of like grim dark fairy tale sort of vibes. I definitely want to play it at some point. But we have that, and then like, let's see. Again, my thing, I like, if you like zombies, that's fine. It's just one of the things where I'm like, I am like a, Malian says, I am a, like, gothic literature person, you know? So I'm definitely of the, like, opinion of, like, I like monsters that have meaning behind them, you know? I like the fact that you're using this monster because it says something. That's why I actually really liked, come on. There we go. I missed the button the first time. That's why I like monsters that say something. That's why I like that there's, like, you know, lore behind it, that they're like, oh, we're using a vampire because that says something. We're using a werewolf because that says something. Like, you know, or, like, there's some sort of, like, history you're going to use it, like, if you're using, like, a kappa, for instance, you know, like the ones that have, like, the dish on their heads. Or, like, all the different, like the Yukiona or something like that, the things that you see, like, in Fatal Frame. I like when you use monsters like that. Like, there's a meaning behind why you're using this particular monsters. And, you know, that's also why, you know, I'm kind of interested in playing The Wolf Among Us at some point, because it's like, it's a grim version of fairy tales, like, that's interesting. However, like, zombies are more an affliction. And honestly, I kind of have the same problem, even, I've mentioned this when we were talking about, like, with Detroit, and, like, I have the same issue, honestly, with androids half the time, because that's what they're used sometimes. Sometimes they're just, okay, yeah, I just want to see my HP. Sometimes they are just used like that, where you're just like,
they just said it's really good.
Oh yeah, The Wolf Among Us? Yeah, I want to play it at some point. I got it on sale a long time ago. I'll play it at some point. But, okay. But I'm just gonna go and see if I can find an enemy.
Girl, you do what you need
I'm
to
gonna
do.
find an enemy and see if I can level up.
I'm in no rush. Do whatever you need to do.
Cause I want to like level up once at least, so I can like.
See if you can get level up. See if you can get in the castle. Do what
so
you need to do, dog.
Some more badge power.
Yeah. It's like do what you need.
Okay, so we have to go up here because I need to turn to a plane. But like, because zombies are generally used like you would use a plague or a natural disaster. You're never using a zombie because you think zombies as a monster are interesting. You want to see, what happens to humanity when, like, civilization falls apart. You want to see a post-apocalyptic thing. That's what you use zombies for, the same as you would a natural disaster. It's like, okay, when the world falls apart, what happens to humanity? Does, like, empathy go out the window and stuff like that?
I was like, some guy's dead body.
Yeah, I did hit some guy's dead body.
Just whacking him out of nowhere. That's actually really funny to me. Gotta turn on that paratrooper.
I do. So we're gonna go for his buddies first.
Nice.
Oh, you hear music? That's pretty cool.
I know, I like that you have new music.
Because we changed location. That's pretty cool.
It's fancy.
Nice remix. I always love good remastered. Really missed that one. I like me some good remastered music. I'm just not nailing his thing.
Wow.
You might have to do this with a controller, like an actually
plugged-in
controller.
We'll do like a, yeah, I was like, we'll think that we'll do it.
Because I think my thing's just, the timing's just off.
That's okay. Let's see, you have to account for... The difference is we played this game last time we played this game, and we played it extensively, was with a GameCube controller. So you're naturally going to have those, like, you're almost at a disadvantage because you're going to have built-in muscles for a game that we don't have.
Yeah. Let's tackle our paratrooper here. Where are these guys? But anyway, so like, essentially, so like, I'm just not a huge fan of zombie things just because, namely for the same reason that, like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, post-apocalyptic, end of the world, all that's left are machines, and humanity has died out, because, some people do really cool things with it. However, it became such a huge trope. Same reason that vampires became overblown in, like, the early 2000s. It became such a big thing that everyone was doing it, so it became oversaturated, and then people weren't doing interesting things with it. If you do something interesting with it, like, for instance, I said, like, Last of Us, their version of zombies, I think is very interesting. I still not a huge fan of zombies, but I think what they do with zombies is very interesting, and they have an interesting story to tell, because, again, they're using zombies like a set piece, and they are telling you about, like, you know, what happened to humanity because of these zombies. Because of the world messed up and stuff like that, you know? Gosh, I cannot get the jump on this right. Yeah, I know. I'm in danger. I'll go heal after this if I don't level up. I missed the jump again.
It's fine.
It's just my thing's not reacting fast enough. I'm just like, come on, I can do that.
That's been me trying to play Legends Arceus. I'm like, oh, I don't know why my Joy-Con.
But like, so like, essentially for a game that has like, if I'm gonna have mindless mowing down monsters, you know, zombies or shadow monsters or whatever, like, you know, it doesn't matter then in that case. Like, essentially, like, whenever you are showing something in a game, I want a little reason as to why it's there. And most of the time when you have zombies, you have like the, you know, this like the, you know, the shoot 'em up sort of zombies, or you have the ones that you're trying to make a statement with. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, I like games like this, that, you know, take a little bit of strategy, that have a little bit of thought into them, that have a colorful world, that has point behind. We were just talking about earlier, about, like, you know, the primal design for Dialga in Legends Arceus. Did I seriously not level up after that? You gotta be kidding me.
That's a good badge to have.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna attack me? Still missed it. Screw me. Let me switch on my characters.
You wanna heal?
That's something you don't want Koops out for, because that's when that happens. And they got killed by the set piece anyway.
Take that, losers.
Okay, this time we should level up. I can't believe I'm like, did I really not get enough to level up? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 6.
I'm gonna go back and save. Some more badge power. I keep forgetting we have the sweet truth thing we could be doing, but I keep forgetting about that.
I don't really need to use it at the moment.
Well, like when I was like low on health, I'm like, I should have done that. That probably would have been smart.
You only have 15
So partner
health.
ring is ZL. Nope, then that's the. I guess that's not ZL. This one's ZL?
It's the upper one?
There we go. Okay. Okay, so.
You get power bounce.
Power bounce is this. Should we jump on one enemy successfully?
Continuous jumps to 0.
We haven't used it yet, so we're gonna put this one on
Good idea.
instead. We'll keep the other ones on for now. We don't need the power bounce at the moment.
Nope.
Let's go back and save. I always love going off stairs because it just sounds like you're just, you know, shouting.
Wahoo! Wow! Wahoo! Wow! Dang, girl.
Well, I forget that, like, you know, you still have to pull it back in the opposite direction, and when you're going in, like, backwards, sometimes I go in the wrong direction. Anyway, so we'll probably call it for here, because I think that's pretty far into the thing for now.
And I'm sleepy.
And Melanie's getting sleepy. So we'll be back on Thursday. Thank you for everyone who was here in the chat and who was discussing with us tonight. I mean, I think we talked about everything. We talked about the Direct. We talked about Ace Attorney and our love for these gay lawyers. And a few other subjects. I didn't talk about Pokemon Masters, so I guess we'll have to wait for that another day. So we'll be back on Thursday. That'll be our last day of camp, too. So, you know. Got 2 more days of teaching camp, which is fun. And, yeah, we'll be back on Thursday. We're going to keep playing this game. Still a lot of fun. Still enjoying it. This is a fine level for the first level, but I'm like, the real good stuff honestly comes in later. Getting past the first hump is getting past, like, Hooktail.
Yeah, it's still a very fun game.
It's still a very fun game. So we're enjoying it a lot. Very excited for the things released in the Direct. Glad we were able to chat to everyone who was here. Always love having some activity in the chat. We're on a grand total of 2 viewers this time, Malin. We're really going up in the world.
Yeah, that's what I think. We need to keep this on the table over there.
Yeah, so besides the spider that attacked me earlier today, you know, it's been a great stream.
Yeah. You can put these over there too. One and
Anyway,
one more.
so we'll see you guys on Thursday. Keep playing this game. But, you know, think about it. Maybe we'll go and do an Ace Attorney marathon at some point. I think it'll be fun.
There's also an anime. Watch the anime. It's really good.
Yeah, the anime is pretty. The anime is pretty good. Play the game first, because the games are 10 times better. But the anime is pretty good for a video game adaptation.
Okay, we're gonna go to sleepy because I'm sleepy. Thanks for watching.
Okay, thanks.